And this is a card of release. This is a card of emotional release. This is a card of releasing the emotional baggage. This is the card of realizing, recognizing that that is what you are doing. That is what you have done. And now you know, yeah? Because people, they always talk about this Cups energy, you know, like, oh, Cups is all about emotions. It's so beautiful. And it is. But Cups is exhausting energy. You know, the living in our emotional selves, and when they are manifested, you know, when our emotions are being manifested, like happens with the Saturn quincunx, the true Nord. Check out the video why I'm always so tired, or why I'm feeling so tired. But with that transit, we're feeling tired. With that transit, as I said, we are manifesting our wisdom. This is what it physically feels like to go through learning and to go through change. Remember, 5 is about change. So hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth. I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. And this, my darlings, is our daily pulse for Monday, the 20th of April. This is Tiny Doggy. He's beautiful, as you know. Hello, Tiny. Okay, so we're going to get into our daily pulse. I've had a couple of days off, as you know. The sort of the tiredness that hit us all a few days ago. So check out that video if you've not checked it out, if you've not watched it yet. We are going to start, as always, with the card at the base of the reading, which is just the overall sort of perspective of today, before we look at what's facing us, what's hidden from us, and what our blessing is, and our key message. So, card at the base of the reading, my darling, it's number 3. And it's number 3, and it's a 3 of Wands, and it is the card of opportunity, the card of reward, reaping rewards, the card of anticipation, of new anticipation, of new horizons, the anticipation of our ships coming in. This is what this card represents. I've spoken about number 3 at length, as you know, linked to your 3rd chakra, your power center, all about your self-confidence, all about your self-esteem, all about your ability to manifest. And it is wand energy, which is, so this is really all about power. It's about movement. It's about feeling, noticing, experiencing that, yeah, excitement maybe, or yes, that things are moving forward for us, that yes, I'm moving into new space and new energy. This is what this card really represents, the 3 of Wands. It's the ships coming in, if you will. So we've been waiting, or we've been not just been waiting, but we've been working up to this point. And you know, we've been dealing a lot with our emotional selves. We've been dealing a lot with noticing our emotional responses over the last couple of weeks. You know, how am I responding to this crisis? You know, what's my emotions doing? We've been noticing that, we've been responding to that. And then with the transit that we had just the other day, Saturn, I can't say that word. Quincunx, it is quincunx. That's a conjunction where you are 5. I'll show you what a quincunx is. Quincunx, Saturn quincunx, the true north, the north node, and the north node is where you're heading. So we know that now where we're headed, that is something that's transforming. So quincunx, God. If I could divide that into 5 equal parts, but I can't. Okay, hang on. Look, that's 5 equal parts. Okay, that's a pie. That's the sky right now. 5 equal parts. And a quincunx is a conjunction where it's closer than a conjunct actually. Basically, Saturn is here, and the North Node is here. Now, the North Node is where we're headed. And Saturn is the planet of lessons. Saturn is a planet of proving that we've learned our lessons. It's really the planet of manifesting our wisdom. And so in order to manifest, what did we say? In order to manifest, what do we need to do? We need to release. We've had this conversation about manifestation, guys, and you know it's about release. And so, you know, I spent yesterday doing quite a lot, actually. I spent yesterday doing quite a lot of meditation, conscious meditation. You know that I do conscious meditation. I talk out loud, and I reflect on things. And I was reflecting yesterday on love, if you will, on I don't want to call him a lost love, because he's not really lost, but he's very much, you know, he's not lost at all. He's just not with me anymore. But anyway, I was reflecting a lot on lost love. I was reflecting a lot on, and I know what I learned, but what I learned from that, and the thing, and obviously my sensitivity is developing, as yours is as well. I get more and more sensitive, more and more clear in the work that I'm doing. And in order to do that, I release. And this is a card of release. This is a card of emotional release. This is a card of releasing the emotional baggage. This is the card of recognizing that is what you are doing. That is what you have done. And now yeah. Because people, they always talk about this Cups energy, that, Cups is all about emotions. It's so beautiful. And it is. But Cups is exhausting energy. The living in our emotional selves, and when they are manifested, when our emotions are being manifested, like happens with the Saturn quincunx, the true Nord. Check out the video, Why Am I Always So Tired, or Why Am I Feeling So Tired? But with that transit, we're feeling tired. With that transit, as I said, we are manifesting our wisdom. This is what it physically feels like to go through learning and to go through change. Remember, 5 is about change. So the emotional energy, the sort of, remember, Cups energy is about your emotional self, your non-physical self, your divine feminine. And always when we have these type of conjunctions, and always when you're going to have a Kundalini awakening, which is what's happened for you and for all of us en masse over this last couple of days. It happens every couple of months. We're not used to noticing it. The one in October is you October time, around October time, November time, that transit round there, when you get that, hits us hard as well. Anyway, I digress. So I'm talking. This is a card of emotional release. And so our key message today is, this is what we're doing. We're releasing, emotionally, we're changing, we're letting go of, we're releasing. So remember, 5 is change. We're releasing, letting go of some of the heavy emotions that we've been holding on to. And what that leads us to is, we know that number 3 is about expanding our path. Number 3 is about creating an opportunity, and that is what we're actually getting. So when it comes to what's facing us today, we have the Page of Pentacles. We've been seeing Pentacles. We have had a Pentacles energy in every single daily pulse reading that I've ever completed, and I say to you, I'm happy to see the Pentacles energy, because I know that it's about results, and it's about the application of our energy. And when I was meditating yesterday, so a good few hours yesterday, my conscious meditation, I'm going to start posting those again, actually, those conscious meditations, because I think they can be helpful. Anyway, I digress. What I learned about the Pentacles energy yesterday, when I was reflecting, working with the energy, as I said I always do, is that this is something that is, Saturn at the moment, as I said, important. It's a ruler of Pentacles. It's a ruler of Capricorn. Is Pentacles energy. It's Saturn, and we have to apply. You have a thought, that's air energy. You have a thought in your mind, air energy, and a thought in your mind is a completely separate entity from the actions that you take, from if you decide to do something, when you move and you take actions, that's the wand energy. When I always say what animates you, that's literally the wand energy. It's like, it gives you that push to move. The Cups energy, your emotional self, we've talked about that. Pentacles energy is, I always say, where you put your energy and effort in order to manifest security. But what does that actually mean? Like, when it comes to manifesting our wisdom, it's about applying ourselves in ways that we know, because we've learned, are going to be more successful for our security. That's what we mean about the lessons that we've learned with Saturn and the Pentacles energy. And this is really, again, us now starting anew, starting afresh, coming in today with fresh eyes. We're facing, new energy. We're putting in new energy today. And that's after we know the heaviness, the tiredness. Some of you still may be feeling that residual tiredness. It will pass in a couple of days. You're just becoming more sensitive. That's all it is. You're becoming more sensitive to your actual experiences and to your emotional self. And it's physical and it's demanding and it's draining. But it's because you are manifesting new actions. You're starting to do new things and walk into and toward new experiences, which is what we see here. So again, we're maturing with the page, but we're definitely putting, it's masculine, so we're definitely doing something. All masculine energies actually today. So we're definitely doing something. We're definitely putting in the energy. We're definitely looking forward to something. We're definitely feeling the excitement. We're definitely feeling the call to act, to move. We are definitely understanding the necessary what we have to do to release. We're understanding what we have to do to release, and we're doing it. So there's a lot going on today. There's a lot of moving parts today. I presume, I feel, I can't remember now, but I feel that there's probably an astrology, there's a transit going on today, so I'll check, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's have a look. What is hidden? So the hidden, what is hidden from me today? So this is when I talk about that tiredness. Remember, we had this last week, I think it was around Wednesday, or whatever time. I think it was around Wednesday time. We had this last week, and I always say that the card in this position is a very supportive message, because it's what's hidden from us, and it's what we maybe not, it's like a message from the universe, or it's like a message from our divine selves, if you will. And they were always, they're really very supportive messages, and in this instance as well. So this is the universe telling us to sort of take a seat still, to rest still. But what's hidden is that energy that's coming through. The strain of the emotions that you carry. This is, the walls that we put up, the sort of energy of that strain to continue to sort of uphold and sustain and carry round with us these cups. It's very draining, and it takes a lot of energy. And as we know, as I said to you, we've been having this Kundalini awakening over the last couple of days. You have felt it. You have felt tired. You have had the vivid dreams. Your sleep's been interrupted. Your appetite's been all over the place. You're not sure what day it is. You're spaced out. You're seeing things. You think you're seeing things. You're not seeing things. You think you're hearing things. You're not hearing things. They're really there. This is what your sensitivity is changing, growing. And so we know that this is, again, energetically, when we're doing this learning, what do we say to you? It's about noticing what we're feeling, responding to what we're feeling, releasing what we need to, shifting our energy, creating different outcomes, manifesting. This is what we do. And that is that constant sort of self-reflection, that constant sort of things moving so quickly, and being confronted by such emotions, which we are all doing at the moment, being confronted with that the moment because of Corona. Being confronted with all Tiny wasn't happy about that. The bin men are here. Tiny, be quiet. That in itself is the energetic. It is very draining to go through and to live through. And this is just that tiredness. This is just, again, just asking you to notice the discomfort. Again, just asking you to notice, how is my body moving today? How am I responding today? Am I really ready to be up and about? And do I still need to release? Take your time. If you need to release, if you need to relax a little bit more. I mean, I'll be going back to bed after this. But no, I'm all right, to be fair. But no, notice the discomfort. I always say that with number 10, because number 10 it's 1 and 0. So 1 is a new beginning, and 0 is a portal, isn't it? It's a doorway. It's an opportunity to move forward into something new. But we've also got where we're at now. So we're here. We've got one step in where we're in the present and one step in the future with a number 10. And that's why it's tiring and it's exhausting. But you still need to keep going. You still need to keep responding to your emotions. You need to keep noticing them. You need to keep acknowledging them. And you need to keep releasing them. That's what you need to do. And I feel, and that's what you are doing. It seems like that's what we are doing today. We're not shying away now. We're not sort of turning away from what's going on and what we're feeling. We're acknowledging it, because we know that actually, ultimately, that actually gives us strength. It actually gives us confidence. So let's move on finally to our blessing, because we always have a blessing every day. I don't know what this card is. I don't know, but let's have a look what this blessing is. Oh my word. You know what, guys? I mean, I just love, and this is why I like the surprise. I mean, I look at these two like you guys, but I like the surprise, man. I like the surprise, because this is my day too. I'm here too, guys. So we've got the 10 of Cups. let's just sort of let that just sort of sink into our souls right now, to sink into our souls. You know, this energy of the Ten of Cups is, you know, I've just said we're on the precipice. We're in one step in the future, but one step in where we're at now. This is a card of appreciation, isn't it? It's a card of looking and seeing our blessings. It's a card of recognizing that I have so much to be thankful for, to be grateful for, that makes me joyful, that makes me happy, that makes my heart sing. There is so much here that I can see. And it's beautiful to behold, and it gives me such a boost. And that is what this energy really represents. The Ten of Cups is this happiness and joy and abundance. And it's from within, you know. The difference between Cups and Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles is like the manifested security. So your family and your job and your work and your whatever it is, yeah. Your wealth, etc. Whatever. Cups is from within, because we know Cups is about your emotional self, don't we? Cups are like, this is not, listen, happiness is not something that money will give you, or cars will give you, or people telling you how wonderful life will give you. No. Happiness comes as you're learning, as we are all learning now, because we're all locked in our houses. Happiness comes from within, doesn't it? So you realise, once you're actually sat in your house or your flat and you're by yourself or you're with your family or whatever, all that stuff that you usually distract yourself with, all that stuff that, you know, work and life and whatever, you sit in your house and you realise, you know what, I need to be all right with myself, because if I'm not, this is going to be a long lockdown. And then, so that's what we mean by happiness or joy comes from within. Cups energy is from within. So this is why it's good to notice what you're feeling. It's good to acknowledge it, and it's good to release the things that no longer serve you, and to release the things that it's time to be released. You know, you're learning lessons, and I think that this time that we're having with Corona, yeah, it's difficult. We know that. We've talked at length about how devastating and tragic and all that stuff is, and we know that. But there's always blessings, as I said. We serve ourselves in everything that we do. Yeah, you serve yourself in everything that you do, because you learn something, about you, because you gain wisdom from it, because you gain wisdom, Pentacles wisdom. You gain wisdom, the Cups wisdom, the joy, to know what's going to give you security, to know what's going to help you to feel joyful and pleasurable and happy. Pleasurable doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying. Pleasure, what has me pleasure, joy, etc. What to be thankful for. So this is a card of, again, we've talked about counting our blessings, recognizing our beauty, but also knowing that this is from within, that this is real. This is what I'm talking about. That's real security, right? It's real security with the Ten of Cups, because there isn't nothing, well, there's always stuff hidden from us, but there's nothing hidden from you're not going there in your head. You're allowing yourself to go there. You're allowing your head to go there. You're allowing your emotional self to go there. You're thinking about it. You're reflecting on it. And this is something that, again, is a real source of stability and strength, because there's no place in my mind that I will not go. I mean, if I've got to think about it so that I can learn from it, so that I can release from it, so I can release it, then I'll go there. It might have been painful, man. Yeah, man, it might have been. I'm still thinking about that stuff. Yeah, I've learned. I've learned personally over many years now. You know, we're looking 7 years down the line now. I've learned over many years that that's the way for me, as number 7, that's the number, that's the way for me to really feel secure, to not ignore, because I did that for years and years and years. I won't look at that. I won't question that. I'm not going to look at that part of myself. I'm not going to look at that memory because it's too painful. I'm not going to look at, I did that for years and years and years, and I wasn't stable. I felt, I did not feel stable looking back. When I started actually mindfulness, meditation, Reiki, tarot, i.e. when I started noticing my emotions and responding to them and labeling them and describing them to myself and meditating, that's when I realized that it's doing that, actually, bloody hell, I feel so much, I can stand up straight. Do you know what I mean? I can stand up straight, but my feet are not firmly planted on the ground, because it strengthens us, and it shows that there's no end to these feelings of joy, because all I have to do to continue to feel blessed is just notice how I'm feeling. It's just notice how what I'm doing. It's just respond to what's happening in my environment, to be honest with myself about what that makes me think. Not today, because we've got no side energy. What that makes me think, how it makes me feel, how that triggers me. Just all I've got to do is notice that. If I notice that, I am abundant. I am abundant in my happiness. I am abundant in my joy, and no one can take that away from me. And that's like me, you know. Happy. It's weird because I was in my meditation yesterday. I'm gonna shut up in a minute. In my meditation yesterday, I was like, you know, happy. People talk about happy, you know, happy all the time. I'm happy all the time. I was like, no, I'm not happy all the time. It's an emotion happy. It's the sun card in here. It's an emotion happy. It's an experience, but it's not permanent. And I was having this conversation with myself in meditation yesterday, and I said, well, you know, but what I am is I'm sort of always. I'm number 7, so I'm happy when I'm learning. I'm happy when I'm having breakthroughs, and I'm happy when I understand. So the affirmation for the crown chakra, the 7th chakra, which is my master number, is I am and I understand. Very, very fitting for me. 7's my master number, so it's all about what I understand and the mystery of things, and you know, trying to answer the mysteries, trying to come up with answers. That's what number 7's about, and that's the path that I walk, darlings. And for me, I'm always happy if I'm learning. So I don't care if it's painful. Now, I mean, obviously 7 years ago. Oh my God, 7 years ago. 7 years ago it was painful, man. I mean, the first time I had to look back at that memory, or the first time I had to, oh my word, painful. But what I've learned, as I said, give me the pain, love, if I can actually learn something, and if it actually, because you actually grow from that, from noticing that, so from responding to that. So it's a real, I mean, that seems a bit sadomasochistic, actually. It says, give me the pain. It's not like something that is pleasurable, but what it is it's, generally I'm always happy, because even though I'm actually sad at times and crying at times, and things are so difficult to recall or remember or to face, if you will, you know, that is in the moment in itself is hard to deal with. But I'm always happy. I'm always joyful, because even in those moments, I know that what I'm doing is I'm learning, I'm uncovering, I'm finding out more about myself, about my life, about my loves, about the people around me, or whatever, you know. So in that moment, even though it's intense and difficult and challenging at times, there's always a benefit from it. As I said, I serve myself by noticing it, by living in it, by recognizing it, by acknowledging it. Okay, I need to go because I need to post this video today. So my darlings, it's a blessed day for you today, but it's one where, again, as I said, we're releasing, but we're moving into new energy right now. We're moving into this new space, this new energy of oh, lovely, hey. We're moving into this new space, this new energy of the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Wands. So this is about, you know, you can feel that things are opening up. Even if you've been ill for the last couple of days, you've been tired, you've been stressed, you've been under strain, you've been emotional, even if you've been in that space over the last couple of days, you should be starting to feel today like, you know, things are starting to lighten a little bit, that things are opening up. But it's because you're aware now of, you have all the cups in your hands, and you're like, bloody hell, you know, God, yeah, man, it's been hard, it's been this, it's been that. You know, I've responded like this, I've responded like that. You've got all these cuts in your hand now, and all you've got to do today is just the last little bit, which you're gonna do, which is just to recognize and to release. Once you release those, then we get to the 6 of Cups, and we appreciate, don't we? Appreciate the fact that we've had these experiences, because they make us who we are. Okay, my darlings, that's the 6 of Cups. Okay, my darlings, I better go. I'm waffling. I've not done this for a couple of days, so I might be a bit rusty. I hope you like this reading. I will see you all again tomorrow and Tuesday for your next daily pulse. And do not forget, all your daily pulses are in the daily pulse playlist, along with the key message that I wrote, that I put up on Friday. It would have been on Friday, so please check those out. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna edit this video. I love you all. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you all again tomorrow with your brand new reading. Take care, my lovelies. Bye.